Welcome to Expeditions in Light. Let's take another expedition into, well, failure. Failure for photographers is good. Okay, that seems strange to say, and maybe it looks like I'm making an excuse for my own actions. Maybe. But let me take you down a little story to explain what I mean. I promise at the end of this journey, I'll share some photos related to this story. We will start with the story of my failure this last summer. My wife and I had arranged a family trip to Japan, focusing mainly in the Tokyo area to visit relatives and friends. As per usual, though, we also tried to go someplace outside of Tokyo to have the family time in other parts of Japan. For this last summer, the side trip was to the ocean coast of Chiba Prefecture to the town of Kamogawa. A nice hotel, a lovely sashimi dinner, Kamogawa SeaWorld, and a festival with fireworks viewed from the beach were on the schedule. I was going to document through photography, video, and audio the Kamogawa fishing port, the festival, and beachside fireworks. Video-wise, I completely failed. Part of that failure was in new equipment, planning, new firmware, testing, and not having a product released on time. For those who don't know, I create these YouTube projects by documenting through photography, video, and audio the place, situation, or concept. For the on-location audio, I record in stereo with a recording style called binaural audio. This is then synced to the video, edited, photos added, and a bit of introduction ending added. Then voila, a YouTube video is ready to go for the public. In the future, I will also add a bit of B-roll done with binaural audio, combined with video. To me, there's nothing like binaural audio to give the feeling of being there. One problem I didn't plan for was a product got delayed. This is the product. This is the Deity PR2. My plan was to turn my audio syncing workflow nightmare into just a couple of mouse clicks. Unlike videos where people talk constantly, ambient binaural audio doesn't have a lot of peaks and audio spikes to sync with, but timecode allows video to sync with audio by a code providing absolute time. When both the audio device and the video device contain the same exact time code, syncing is easily done in post-production. Without this, though, I had to do the hard hand claps and hope I find where to sync up in post. I'll talk more about how I solved this later with the PR2. The funny thing is the PR2 got released the day I went to Japan. The other side is working with the DJI Pocket 3. Shortly before the trip, the DJI had a firmware upgrade for the Pocket 3. They added a feature that will delete the last clip recorded if you hold down the recording button. So to end a recording, you can either do a short press of the record button to stop recording or a long press to stop recording and delete that video you just recorded. I don't care about this feature because I always buy fairly large storage cards, and I usually buy them in duplicate. That way, I have tons of space on the current card and always have the next backup if I need it. My Lumix camera has dual card slots and is set up to duplicate files, creating an instant backup. But the DJI Pocket 3 only has one micro SD card slot. Then I had a mounting issue. This is the DJI created GoPro mount. I combined this with the Ulanzi neck holder for the video part of the expedition. Notice that when mounted, the record button faces away from the body. That means you can't glance down and verify you're recording. You can't just sit there and tap a button and be done with it. So what did I do? 3 freaking times. I held the recording button down too long after a recording for the videos covering the fishing port of Kamogawa, the festival of Kamogawa, and the fireworks at Kamogawa. Yes, I deleted the file I just recorded. That means I failed. Am I mad about it? Well, after the review of the files, yeah, I was not happy. But, long term, I'm not. Let me explain. David Bowie once said, if you feel safe in the area you are working in, you are not working in the right area. Always go a little bit further into the water than you feel you are capable of being in. Go a little bit out of your depth. And when you don't feel that your feet are quite touching the bottom, you are just about in the right place to do something exciting. Well, what does that mean? That quote means you have to try something new. You have to try something maybe that someone else is not doing. You have to try something that you have never proven to yourself that success will happen. You have to be willing to look failure in the eye and say, yeah, buddy, I'm trying this. I may fail, but I am trying it anyway. You will fail. You may succeed, but on the average, you are going to come home from that photography expedition with 1 or 2 ideas that absolutely stink or completely fail. A scheduled failure that you will just have to suck up. It doesn't really matter? Yes and no. The more organized you are in that failure, in photography, the more data you can gather to fix what did not work, to push into those areas that you just haven't built up the skill muscle to pull off the concept, to develop the workflow that reduces mistakes. If all you did was execute what you currently know, how could you improve? How can you gather the information to review, study, read, test, and fix? It is this process which moves you forward in photography. Maybe you don't know flash photography. Grab a few books, watch a few videos, get some basic flash setups, and go for it. Yes, you are going to fail. But if you do it in an educated, critical, and measured way, you are on the path to success. Be pissed off, celebrate the failure, and then grab what you need to push through to your goal. Educate, gather equipment, test, try, and modify. Your first image or video may be absolute garbage, but with educated perseverance, you will eventually improve your chances. I did manage to get some shots through this expedition. As promised, here is some of the photos with binaural audio of Kamogawa, the fishing port, the festival, and fireworks. I enjoyed a little bit of failure and will document to you my slow path to success. Thanks for joining me on this expedition to the Chiba Prefecture coast and the town of Kamogawa. I really wish I had more time there. I love those little seaside towns along the coast of Japan. They're such a treasure of people, places, and scenes I can come back to again and again as a photographer. Until the next Expeditions in Light, this is your host, John, signing off. See you again on the next Expeditions in Light.